Hello, Year 10. Welcome back to another home learning lesson or online lesson. So, today our topic is going to be we're going to have two different topics. The first half of the lesson is going to be based on this topic, minerals. And hopefully, you remember from last week that minerals are referred to as micronutrients because they are needed in small amounts, and the other nutrient that's needed in small amounts is vitamins. And these are distinctly different to the macronutrients that we learnt about previously. So, the first driving question for today is as follows. Please jot this down. We are looking at how are minerals different to fat and water-soluble vitamins. Okay, now to start today's lesson, we're going to do a little recap of our previous learning with the following true or false questions. So you can write this down in your book. You might want to get a scrap piece of paper to do this on. You might want to, if you have a little whiteboard, do it on a mini whiteboard. Do it in whatever format that suits you best. So off we go. Number 1, fat is a main source of energy. Number 2, HBV is a type of amino acid. Number 3, vitamin A is essential for eyesight. Number 4, a deficiency of protein is kwashiorkor. Number 5, vitamins are macronutrients. Number 6, vitamin K is essential for blood clotting. Number 7, unsaturated fats are the most unhealthy type of fat. Number 8, starchy carbohydrates are found in pasta, bread, and cereals. Number 9, macronutrients are needed in large amounts. And number 10, vitamin C is important for immunity. True or false? Okay, let's have a look at the answers then. So number 1, fat is a main source of energy. This is true, that is its main function. Hopefully remember that 1 gram of fat provides 9 kilocalories of energy. Number 2, HBV is a type of amino acid. That is false. High biological value proteins, they contain all of the amino acids. They're not a type of amino acid. Number 3, vitamin A is essential for eyesight. Hopefully from last week's learning, you've learned that this is true. Number 4, a deficiency of protein is kwashiorkor. That is also true. Number 5, vitamins are macronutrients. Hopefully remember from last week's learning that this is false. Vitamins are actually micronutrients because they're needed in small amounts. Number 6, vitamin K is essential for blood clotting. I know you didn't write this one down, but you may have picked it up from the video. This is actually true. Number 7, unsaturated fats are the most unhealthy type of fat. That is false. The most unhealthy type of fats are saturated and trans fats. Number 8, starchy carbohydrates are found in pasta, bread, and cereals. That is true. Number 9, macronutrients are needed in large amounts. This is true. And number 10, vitamin C is important for immunity. This is also true. Okay, so exactly like the last home learning lesson that we completed, there are 6 minerals that you need to have knowledge on. These are calcium, iron, potassium, iodine, magnesium, and fluoride. So like we've always done, I would like you, and you may have already completed this in the work previously, but again, just bring your notes all together under the topic of minerals. I want you to find out the function, the sources, the deficiency and the excess of the following 6 minerals. Now you can do it in a table format, you can do it in a list format, do it in whatever way suits you best. And again, like last week, I've got our very useful Bible on micronutrients that you can check your information against. So I want you to pause the video now and go off and do your research on these minerals. Okay, so hopefully you've completed your research, you have gathered all the information that you need on the topic of minerals. So I'm going to take you to our little Bible of all things micronutrients. If you have a little look at this document, again, pause it at whichever page suits you best. You will see some really useful answers on the functions, the sources, the deficiency, and the excess, okay? So for example, we've got the mineral calcium. We've got the mineral iron here, okay? They were important in that table. What other minerals did we have? We have potassium. So here we've got potassium. If we scroll down, we have got, did we need magnesium or sodium? We did. We've got magnesium just here. And this is our last page, okay? We've got fluoride and we've got iodine. So just check your answers against this little Bible on micronutrients and just make sure that you have got all the correct information jotted down. Okay, the topic of micronutrients in terms of vitamins and minerals is challenging. Unfortunately, it's just one of those topics that you need to keep coming back to really keep up your revision. So please keep referring back to these tables regularly so that the knowledge stays in your little brains. Now we're going to watch this little video clip on the science behind vitamins and minerals just to bring our knowledge together.
Right, vitamins and minerals, you beautiful people. Now, I know that for most people, you only ever bother thinking about them when you're so bored with life, you're reading the side of a cereal packet. I mean, 13.6 micrograms of niacin. What does it mean? But we should sit up and take notice because these tiny, teeny micronutrients actually play a huge role in the diet. For instance, vitamin C, there's loads and loads of it in oranges. But if you don't get enough, you can end up getting scurvy when your connective tissue starts to rot and you start speaking like a pirate. Well, apart from the pirate bit. Feeling healthy and avoiding getting ill are really important when you're singing and dancing in 8 shows a week. No, not me, a proper star.
I'm Savannah Stevenson, and I'm currently playing Glinda in the West End production of Wicked. I love the show, I love the music, the costumes, everything. It's fabulous. Food is really, really important in my job because I have to have lots and lots of energy. So I really try and eat really nutritious food, things that are going to give me the vitamins and minerals that I need to stay well, because even just a simple cold can mean that I can't work. For me, my most important meal is my lunch, and I get most of my nutrition in that meal. So I'll probably add something like a smoothie or a juice that I juice myself. I go on the philosophy that like anything that's really bright and colourful is really good for you. I really love it, and for me it's a way that I can cram a lot of nutrition into one meal. I know that vitamins and minerals are really, really good to help us look as good as we can. And there's my smoothie. It's actually really, really nice. It's really sweet. For clear skin and strong nails, strong teeth, shiny hair, all of those things come from vitamins and minerals. I've got to get ready. It's 7:20, so I've got to send you away. Thank you for visiting. I'll show you out. Bye.
Savannah is spot on. Now, the key to getting all of those essential vitamins and minerals that you need is dead simple. Just eat as wide a variety of foods as you possibly can. So, first up, minerals. Hey, they include calcium, this season's must-have for healthy teeth and strong bones. Iron, an absolute classic, crucial for your body's constant building of red blood cells. And then there's the ABC of vitamins. Give me a vitamin A! Yeah, keeps your eyes all seeing, your skin all healthy, and your body generally all growing-y.
B.
Yeah, vitamin B, there's lots of these, but B1 breaks down and releases energy from the foods we eat. B2, my all-time favourite, keeps us producing red blood cells. And vitamin C! Brilliant for healthy skin, but also strengthens the immune system to fight off pesky bugs and germs. Achoo! Now, these are called micronutrients because you only need a tiny amount of them in your diet. But I can still show you them in your food with a little demonstration. So, down here, I have a red cabbage. Take a little slice of red cabbage off. You can see it's got this beautiful colour inside it. I'm going to chop this up into little bits. And have a really good look at the colour there. It's beautiful, this beautiful purpley colour. And we're going to get the colour out of the red cabbage. Now, The colour, bizarrely, is also something called a phytonutrient. It's a tiny, tiny substance that you do need in your diet as well. I'm going to add some water to the red cabbage. Then I'm going to mince it with one of these hand blenders. Be careful with these, they're very dangerous. Beautiful. Okay. So we've got all of this dye, this beautiful anthocyanin dye, into the water here. And now I'm going to strain all the solids off. All right. Got some lovely dye there. Then I'm going to take my dye and tip it into a big jug of water. That should do the trick. Now, it's got this sort of bluey, purpley colour because the water is neutral. What I'm going to do is add some vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is an acid called ascorbic acid. So when we tip a little bit of the acid into here, it will turn all of this water ever so slightly acidic. And the anthocyanins do something quite interesting. Ready? Now, all of that water has turned bright pink because the anthocyanins are called a pH indicator. They turn a different colour when they're in acid. Now, micronutrients might be tiny, tiny parts of your diet, but they play a huge role. And you can tell that from how dramatic the vitamin C is.
Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed just that little video showing the importance of vitamins and minerals and how even though they are small, we couldn't live without them. So I did say at the start of this lesson that today's home learning will be split into two. We've had our little bit on minerals, and now we're going to look at the last remaining nutrients that you need to have knowledge on, and that is water and fibre. And believe it or not, people don't always assume that water and fibre are nutrients, but they are, and they are absolutely essential. So I've got a new little driving question for you. So I want you to pause the video and write this down, please. And it is the following. How are water and fibre still classified as nutrients? Now, I've got a little task for you to complete. So we're going to focus on the nutrient fibre first. Now, there's two different types of fibre. There's soluble fibre and there's insoluble fibre. They both have different functions. They both come from two different food sources. So what I would like you to do is I want you to answer the two following questions here from the following resource down here. And I'm going to need to exit the screen to access this here. So I'm going to click on this link. Now, this is the British Dietetic Association. This is their fibre food fact sheet. So you can either pause the video and work through the fact sheet with me, or you can go and find the fact sheet yourself. Now, in this fact sheet, you should be able to find the answers to the questions that I have asked you for. Okay. You should find information on soluble and insoluble fibre, on the differences. There is also the old style version of the fact sheet just over here. And let me see if I can find the soluble and insoluble information to sort of pinpoint it to you. It is, let me just have a quick read. I'm not very good at skim reading year 10, so ignore me. Please just have a little read through the food fact sheet, and you should be able to answer the following two questions. If the fact sheet isn't providing you with the answer you would like, then you may want to go and have a little bit of a research, or we can have a little watch of this video together and find out the answers.
Right, let's sprinkle a little digestive stardust on your food by looking at fibre. You've heard the word and you've heard it's good for you, so I'm here to tell you why. The first thing you need to know is that fibre comes from plant-based foods, from lovely fruity fruit and veggie vegetables, as well as things made of wheat and oats. Now, eating a good amount of fibre keeps you fuller for longer. All of this is brilliant news when you're up at the crack of dawn entertaining the nation.
What's happening? I'm Twin B, One Extra Breakfast DJ. Doing the One Extra Breakfast Show is something that I love doing. I thoroughly enjoy it. I've been doing it for 2.5 years now. And we are going to make Friday sound oh so good. I love the fact that I get to be me, have fun, have a laugh with people I consider my friends, like my co-host Yasmin Evans, and talk about random things. And I didn't know I had wings until he made me try and flap them. Meal of the day for me is definitely breakfast, because doing the One Extra Breakfast Show, you've got to have energy, you've got to sound up. And when the song comes on that I love, I want to dance, man. I want to move. Ooh, yeah.
Some breakfast.
I would love some food.
Yeah? Wicked. What are you having today? What are you having today, twin?
When it comes to breakfast, he'll have his usual.
Porridge.
Maybe sometimes part of jam.
An espresso sometimes.
Sometimes pieces of mango, fresh mango with a squeeze of lime.
Just a mango.
Jam on toast. We like to have...
Food, glorious food. Right, breakfast time. Jade has come back with our order. Has Yasmin eaten hers? Woo. Clap for the kid. Clap for the kid. The standards are high. I've done a breakfast show. I've got a day to have now. Bye. Yeah.
So Twin B eats loads of fibre. That'll keep him regular. Now, food travels through your digestive system like a car down a road. And it's fibre that controls the speed of the journey. Now, these foods contain soluble fibre. Soluble because it dissolves in water and, crucially, helps to slow down that journey of food through your body. Without it, you'd end up with diarrhea. On the other hand, these foods contain insoluble fibre, which doesn't dissolve in water. This stuff keeps things moving, and without it, your food would end up in a bit of a traffic jam.
Year 10, some really good sources. I would definitely be noting these down under the answer for the questions.
Otherwise known as constipation. It's a balancing act between soluble and insoluble, but either way, there is a byproduct to using fibre as the fuel for our food's journey. Let's call them emissions. Now, this is basically a lab version of your colon. You can see these big conical flasks full of this brown muck. That's essentially poo. So if you look really, really closely at the flasks, you can see these tiny bubbles rising up. The bubbles are caused by bacteria feeding on the fibre in this laboratory digestive system.
Yes,
Bubbles
please.
are, of course, gas, which I'm collecting through these tubes. It's a mix of gases, but the main ones are hydrogen and methane, which are flammable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to blow this over a naked flame and see what happens. Remember, this flame was produced by the gas created by bacteria feeding on fibre. If you don't eat fibre, the good bacteria still need feeding and can turn bad. Then, a lack of fibre will be more serious than diarrhea, constipation, or a little bit of farting.
Okay, so from that video, you should have gathered just how important fibre is for our diet. Now, the last nutrient that we need to look at is water. So I've got 3 questions for you to answer. I want you to look at what are the functions of water, what happens if I don't drink enough, and what foods can I get fluid from. Again, the British Dietetic Association have done a fact sheet. And again, if you have a little look, the fact sheet's called Fluid. You should be able to find some good answers. You can either look through the web page or you can click on the old style PDF if that makes it a little bit easier. So have a little look for your answers. If you would like to get your answers from the video, we're going to watch the following video on hydration.
GCSE Food Preparation and Nutrition. Hydration. In this film, you will learn about hydration, what it means, why it's important, and the functions of water in the diet, as well as symptoms of dehydration. When we're talking about human needs, water is pretty high on the list. We can't survive more than a few days without it. Hydration is the term used to describe the supplying of water to a person's body. Water doesn't contain calories or sugar, but a chemical called fluoride is often added to tap water to help prevent tooth decay. We get water from lots of sources, including these. Now, watch out for sugar in drinks. Bottled and canned drinks or flavoured water may contain the equivalent of up to 8 teaspoons of sugar. You'll have no teeth left. Water is needed for normal body functions, such as digesting food because it assists absorption of nutrients, bulks feces, and helps avoid constipation by moving food through the intestines. Lovely. It assists kidney function, helping to purify the blood as the kidneys filter out and eliminate waste products that are then expelled from the body in urine. And temperature regulation. More fluid is needed in hot weather and during physical activities. Water is also essential in preventing dehydration, which is the opposite of hydration, obviously. When it becomes dehydrated, the body needs water urgently. Water is lost from the body in waste products, urine and feces, in perspiration or sweat as it evaporates from the skin. Water is also lost when you breathe. During strenuous physical exercise, respiration rates increase and more water is lost from the body. Dehydration occurs when the body loses more fluid than it takes in. Signs of dehydration are feeling thirsty and having a dry mouth, headache, lethargy and tiredness, passing less urine less frequently, passing urine that's dark in colour or darker than usual or that smells strong, irritability and anxiety, and constipation. Someone who's already dehydrated should avoid caffeinated drinks. Caffeine has diuretic properties, causing increased urination, making the body release even more water. Severe dehydration can be life-threatening, not the happy ending we were hoping for. These are the recommendations for daily fluid intake. Athletes and people exercising vigorously need additional water to replenish the water lost through sweating and respiration. So now you should know about hydration, what it means, why it's important, and the functions of water in the diet, as well as symptoms of dehydration.
Okay, year 10, so that sums up our learning for today. Hopefully you've gained some new knowledge on the minerals, calcium, and hopefully you have learned that actually fibre and water are both nutrients that are essential for the body. Hopefully you've answered the questions on fibre and water, and you've checked your answers with the video and the fact sheets. And believe it or not, year 10, that is all the nutrients that you need to learn. You're probably sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, that's so many. It is a lot, but it really, really helps to have a good sound knowledge of these nutrients, particularly when it comes to exam questions. They will form up a huge chunk of exam questions and marks. So I hope you've enjoyed them so far and have a lovely day. Goodbye.